Hi everyone, it's Dr. Karen Leggett, the Women's Midlife Specialist, and welcome to this Anti-Aging Secret on the Way to Work number 69. And today we're going to be talking about hormones and their effect on the cardiovascular system. So, do you remember when I told you about Dr. Russo in 2002, who was in charge of the Women's Health Initiative, and he came out suddenly, stopped the study, and came out suddenly and announced to the world that hormone replacement therapy was bad for you, and that in fact the previous 30 years of research was incorrect, and that instead of heart disease being decreased from hormones, it was actually increased. Well, that's what he did in 2002, and women all over the world really threw out their hormones. They stopped their hormones suddenly, and physicians stopped prescribing them. Well, 2 years later, you might remember this part too, the Women's Health Initiative came back out and said, we've re-looked at all the data and we were wrong. Sorry, but it was too late. The damage had already been done. Many women had already thrown out their hormones. Most everyone, the physicians had already stopped prescribing, and the media had, made headway, extreme headway on how bad, and I put that in quotation marks, the hormones were. So it was actually too late. And it has taken about 15 years for the correct information to make its way back down to the front line, which is the practicing physician. So let me tell you the truth. Here is the truth, and finally things are coming out and people are getting to know more about what is happening. Well, estrogen, I wrote a couple of notes because I want to make sure that you get all of this. Estrogen actually helps improve and maintain the elasticity of the vascular walls in our bloodstream. So the stretchiness, the elasticity is improved and maintained by estrogen. Now, what does that mean? That means that every time the heart gives a nice strong pump, the vessels can expand and then relax, expand and relax. And with each pump, that allows the blood pressure to stay stable. Imagine if the heart was pumping against stiff vessels. Well, that's what happens to people as we age. Our vessels get stiffer. But estrogen helps maintain that elasticity. The second thing estrogen does is it helps dilate the small blood vessels. So remember that our oxygen and our nutrients travel in the bloodstream and feed all of our organs. Every single cell in our body needs oxygen and nutrients. Well, by dilating the small vessels, the oxygen and nutrients get out into the smallest blood vessels and reach the farthest end tissue. Now, the third thing that estrogen does is decrease platelet stickiness. So platelets are our cells in our body that clump blood and clot blood, and that's not good all the time. As you know, a lot of people take blood thinners for one reason or another, and estrogen helps decrease that stickiness that platelets cause and do. Another thing that estrogen does is decrease our bad cholesterol, the LDL, and it increases the good cholesterol, the HDL. Okay, so less bad cholesterol sticking to the sides of the walls of our vessels, and less platelet stickiness causing blood clots and cholesterol plaque buildup. Okay, so all in all, estrogen decreases our, as a woman, heart disease risk by 40 to 50%. Okay, that's really important, and that's the bottom line that I want you to remember, that estrogen actually decreases our risk of heart disease by 40 to 50%. Now, here's something else that I really want you to remember, this number. It's super important. Since 2002, it is estimated that 50,000 additional women died from heart disease every year because they were too afraid to take hormone replacement therapy, or their physicians were misinformed and were afraid to prescribe it. 50,000 women, extra women every year. It's the number one cause of death in America, heart disease, for women and men. But 50,000 extra women every year died from heart disease because they gave up their hormones or were too afraid to take hormones. I want you to remember these things, and now you can understand why it means so much to me to do this particular thing as a women's midlife specialist. Okay, so I've done you a favor. I've really taught you something super important here. So I want you to do me a favor. If you liked this video, go right on down. Tell me you like it. Give me a thumbs up. Click that little like and share it. Share it with your girlfriends. Share it with your friends on Facebook. All right. Oh, and also don't forget, I've got my website soon to come. Lots and lots and lots of good information about hormones and how you can balance and maintain your own hormones with bioidentical hormones available right over the counter. So what you want to do is not miss out on any of that. So if you haven't yet signed up on this Facebook, up at the top there's a sign up button. Sign up there and you won't miss any announcements. Okay. All right. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.